If you're serious about DJing and you want to build a long-lasting career, or even just make the most of it as a passion, then this video is for you. I've been a pro DJ for over 20 years. I've won DMC Championships, worked with some of the biggest companies in the whole industry, and built a business teaching hundreds of DJs around the world. But it wasn't all smooth, and today, I'm going to take you through the biggest lessons that I've learned from every stage of that journey so that you don't have to learn them the hard way. If you're new to this channel, my name is DJ Blakey and I'm a former DMC champion, and winning that DMC title paved the way for the rest of my career. I went on to do a hip hop radio show on BBC Radio 1 and 1 Extra. I provided all of the scratching for two big budget video games, DJ Hero 1 and DJ Hero 2. And then I went on to work for Serato as their European Artist Relations rep, helping their roster of DJs use the software properly. And then I went on to become a content creator for Pioneer DJ, aka Alpha Theta, helping grow their TikTok channel to 70,000 followers. Now I have my own DJ education business where I've helped hundreds of DJs level up their skills. And this video is all about providing you with the lessons that I have learned along the way. My DJ journey started when I was 12 years old, and I used to mix UK garage vinyl back in the late 90s. This is when UK garage was the cool underground music in London, and I fell in love with it super fast. I used to spend all of my spare time practicing DJing in my bedroom, and it was all I thought about and all I looked forward to. But then something unexpected happened, which completely changed my path for the rest of my career. When I was 14, I purchased a magazine that came with a free VHS tape, which is actually this one right here. This videotape completely changed my career. This is a video of highlights from the DMC DJ Championships. And the moment I watched this, I knew that this was what I wanted to do with my career. So from that moment on, I stopped mixing UK garage vinyl and I started learning how to scratch, beat juggle, and build routines. I studied these DMC videos like you wouldn't believe. I watched them non-stop over and over again. And I was completely blown away by what I was watching. And then the following year, I entered my first DJ battle, but I wasn't very good. That's the honest truth. I wasn't ready to enter a competition, but I'm so glad that I did it. Because rather than entering this competition and not doing very well and being discouraged, it actually really spurred me on to keep getting better and keep entering DJ competitions. At that point in my career, I didn't practice to win. I practiced because I loved scratching and building routines. And winning became a byproduct of that obsession. Don't chase status, chase improvement. And then about 6 months later, still at the age of 15, I entered my first DMC DJ battle. Now the way that DJ battles in the DMCs worked back then is everybody who entered the competition, they all got to perform a 3-minute set in the afternoon behind closed doors for 3 judges. And then they take their 10 top DJs and they put them through to the evening final. And much to my surprise, I was put through to the final and I was on first in the London DMC final. This was completely unexpected because, to be honest, there were some DJs in the afternoon session who were better than me. But getting through to that final heat was the start of something special. I went on first, and to be honest, I only had 3 minutes prepared. So I performed that 3 minutes, and then for the last 3 minutes, I just freestyle scratched over a Jest instrumental. Being thrown into the London final unprepared taught me more than 100 practice sessions. It forced me to step up. Say yes to things before you feel ready. Pressure forces progress. Put yourself in rooms where you're uncomfortable because that is where you level up. Now again, I wasn't that great, but being on that stage, knowing that I'd only really been practicing turntablism for about 1 year, made me realize that if I get my head down and I really put everything I have into this, I might actually be able to do something here. I might be able to at least get to a UK final. So that's what I did. For the next 12 months, I did nothing but practice beat juggling and scratching non-stop. And the following year, at age 16, I won the Liverpool heat of the DMCs and ended up going to the UK final where I placed in the top 6. Now, just getting to that UK final was a dream come true for me because I had been watching DMC videos of the UK finals at the Shepherd's Bush Empire, and there I was performing on stage at the Shepherd's Bush Empire in the UK final. That really was something that I could not have imagined just 1 year before. And again, it really spurred me on because I knew that I had levels to go to. I knew that I was still improving rapidly. So again, for the next 12 months, I did nothing but practice beat juggling, scratching, and building routines. And the following year, I came second in the UK final to DJ Quest from Bristol, who was a worthy winner. But honestly, I knew that I still had some levels to go to. So I got my head down with the entire goal of winning the UK DMC final 12 months after that. And because of all of the practice and all of the dedication and all of the passion that I put into it, I did indeed win the UK DMC final in 2004 when I just turned 19. Progress isn't linear, but it comes fast when you fully commit. I went from terrible to champion in 3 years. Not because I was gifted, but because I was obsessed and intentional. You can make huge progress in a short time if you go all in. Don't underestimate what a year of focused work can do for your DJing. Now, to be honest, it's quite a surreal experience to achieve something that you've worked so hard for and wanted so much. I was too young to understand this at the time, but it really was that old cliche of when you have one goal and you achieve it, you become lost in life. And I didn't really know what to do with myself after that point, because everything that I'd worked towards had just been achieved. So for the next few years, I toured the UK and Europe many times over, supporting big artists. But in all honesty, because I had lost that focus, something was missing. That period of focused practice built everything that I now teach. If you're in a phase where you want to level up, but you're not sure what to focus on, I've put together some completely free lessons that go straight into the practical stuff that I wish I had when I started. To get those free lessons, just hit the link in the description. After winning the DMCs in 2004, BBC Radio 1 Extra reached out to me. And very quickly, they offered me my own show, and I said yes to it, of course, and it was great fun. I got to play the same music that I was playing in the clubs, and I was already starting to build a bit of a name as a club DJ. And now I had a mainstream radio show to complement that. But then 1 year later, they offered me my own specialist show at a better time, but there was a catch. They wanted the music style to be more conscious, more chilled, and less club and party focused. Now that style of music is a style of music that I do love, but honestly, on reflection, I probably shouldn't have said yes to that show. Because like I said, I was already building a name for myself as a club DJ, but now I was about to have this mainstream radio show, which didn't align with that in any way. But what 19-year-old is going to say no to the BBC when they're offered their own weekly show? Be clear on the kind of DJ that you want to be, because not every opportunity that sounds good is going to work for your brand or your goals. What people hear, see, and associate with you is your brand. If your radio show or your online mixes or your social clips don't reflect who you really are, then it can hold you back. So of course I said yes, and I'm still very proud of the music that I played on that show, but from a career perspective, it didn't make any sense. Just because it's a big, prestigious brand, it doesn't mean it's right for you. In this case, the opportunity actually pulled me away from what I was building. At 19, it felt like a dream, but in hindsight, it blurred my identity as a DJ. I didn't fully think about the long-term consequences. At some point, every DJ will make a misaligned decision in their career. What really matters is whether you extract the lesson and adjust next time. I was young, it was exciting, but I learned something really important about alignment and staying true to your direction. After having my show cancelled in 2007, after BBC One Extra made sweeping cuts to the DJs on the station, I was feeling burnt out, a bit lost, and to be completely honest with you, I wasn't putting in the work into my career that I really should have been at that point. But fortunately for me, 6 months later, I got a call from a friend of mine, Tony Vegas from the Scratch Perverts. And he had been contacted by an old friend of his who was working with a game designer on the prototype for a DJ video game. Now at this stage, it was nothing but an idea, but Tony was too busy to do the work, so he passed it on to me. And I ended up going to a studio in London and recording some scratching for what would later become the video game DJ Hero. Fast forward another 6 months and I was employed full-time to work on DJ Hero, the video game. Now this was a spin-off of the wildly successful Guitar Hero, and Activision eventually bought the idea for the game, poured millions of dollars into the production, and I ended up having a full-time job scratching for a video game for about 4 years. It was amazing while it lasted, but I knew that my future didn't lie in video game production, and it was unlikely that they were going to release a new DJ Hero every year forever. It was always likely to come to an end, and I knew that was going to happen. Both games were critically acclaimed, but because there had been so many peripheral-based music video games in the previous few years, the market was saturated and the sales were not what Activision expected. So they cut DJ Hero 3 and we were all let go in 2011. So when it all ended, I found myself disconnected from my original purpose and goal as a DJ. And it took me quite a few years to find my footing again. I don't regret the experience at all, but I do wish I'd stayed more grounded. But at the end of the day, I was young, and those years tend to be where we learn the most lessons. If you've taken a detour in your DJ career or you feel lost, that's normal. Rebuilding your identity and direction takes time, but it can absolutely be done. So after leaving DJ Hero, I had a lot of rebuilding to do. And to be honest, this took a few years. I dabbled in music production, but to be honest, I very quickly realized that that wasn't for me. Lots of DJs take to music production naturally, but I didn't. I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. And from my DMC experience, I know that to get good at something, you have to love it more than anything else in the world. And I just didn't, and that's fine. So I had to try and find my avenue in the DJ industry again. Don't dismiss side doors into the industry. There are more paths into a career in music than just DJing and producing. Supporting roles, education, content, and brand work can build your skills and your network. A friend of mine called Nikhil, who is a co-founder at Mixcloud, reached out to me about a job in the industry working for Serato as their European Artist Relations rep. Serato had sent the job description to contacts of theirs in the industry, including Nikhil, and he suggested me for the role. This was in February 2017. Fast forward to May 2017 and that job was mine. Say yes to the job that scares you because it might be your best move. When an opportunity lands that lines up with your skills but feels big, take it. Don't self-reject. It might just unlock parts of your career that you didn't even know existed. After reading this job description, I knew I had to get this job. It was absolutely perfect for my skill set and it read like the dream job description. So much like the DMCs back in the day, I put everything I had into nailing this job interview and getting this role. Fortunately, it worked out and they hired me as the European rep for Serato and tasked me with opening a studio with the purpose of helping all of Serato's DJs in Europe understand the software better, learn new tricks and skills, and also help market the company and the software. And in many ways, this was the dream job. Learn marketing, communication, and community, not just DJing. The DJs who grow long-term are the ones who know how to teach, engage, and connect. These skills are just as important as scratching or mixing. Career detours like this one, they're not setbacks, they're setups. You might be in a season when you're not doing exactly what you love, but if you're learning, then you're growing. You need to trust that it's all adding up. During my time at Serato, I met a guy called Daniel Pemberton, who was put in touch with me because he had reached out to Serato's marketing team with a technical question about the Serato software. I got chatting to Daniel, and it turned out that he was producing the score for a big movie called Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And because the main character in that film, Miles Morales, is from Brooklyn, he wanted to include some hip-hop music and scratching to create an authentic hip-hop sound. We got chatting and I told him about my background in the DMCs. And then just like that, I provided all of the scratching for 2 Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And that opportunity was down to pure luck. I was there when an opportunity presented itself and I seized it. Stay sharp and stay ready. You don't have to chase every opportunity, but you do need to be ready when one shows up. That one email that Daniel sent to Serato turned into one of the most exciting and widely recognized things that I've ever done. And it all came from one conversation. In 2023, Serato decided to close their London studio, which left me without a job, which to be honest, at first was super scary. But something that I'd started to spend time doing in my final year at Serato paid dividends. I'd started posting on TikTok with Serato educational tips and tricks, and these videos were going down really well. And it just so happened that Pioneer DJ, aka Alpha Theta, were looking for somebody to come on board and make content for their TikTok channel. And fortunately for me, I walked straight into that role, which was perfect for me at the time. And over the next 18 months, I took their channel from 5,000 followers to 75,000 followers. And it was the start of my journey as a content creator. If you're not making content, you're invisible. Whether you're trying to grow as a DJ, educator, or performer, content is the bridge between you and your audience. Learn how to show your skills. I learned so much in this role at Pioneer, and it actually gave me the confidence to take all of those skills that I'd learned for the role at Pioneer and apply them to my own channel and my own business. And to be honest with you, I had always wanted to start my own DJ education business, but my skill set never aligned and I never quite had the confidence to do it. But my roles at Serato and Pioneer gave me all of the skills that I needed. And that's why 6 months ago, I started building my own DJ courses. Planning, filming, editing, all myself. Putting over 20 years of experience into these courses to help a new generation of DJs level up their skills. And I launched that business 3 months ago, and it went better than I ever could have hoped. To the point where I had to walk away from my pioneer role because I no longer had the time. I had to start dedicating it to this YouTube channel and my online course business. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to start. I started by casually making TikToks about Serato, and that led to an entire job and then an entire business. Take action and learn on the job. It was great to help other people grow in those roles, but at some point I had to use everything I've learned to build something of my own. And it's been the best decision that I've ever made. The response has been amazing, and I can honestly say it's the most fulfilling part of my entire career. I didn't know it at the time, but learning to make short form content for Serato and Pioneer was the single most impactful decision that I've made in the last 10 years. Without that, I don't think I'd be doing what I'm doing now. I didn't wait until everything was perfect. I launched my business, then I adjusted. The biggest breakthroughs, they come from action, not planning. In just a few months after launching, hundreds of DJs have joined my courses. And there is a community of DJs helping each other get better whilst getting direct feedback from myself. And for me, the key takeaway from all of this is that the two biggest return on investment decisions that I've ever made was putting in the work to win the DMCs, which was a massive risk and required high agency, and the other was starting my own DJ education business. When I put everything on the line to try and build something for me, that's what brought the most fulfillment. What you learn, you can teach. What you experience, you can pass on. The moment that you start sharing what you know, your career stops being just about you, and that's when things get really powerful. If you work with intention, follow your gut, and show up consistently, you can build something more fulfilling than you ever thought possible. If you're a DJ and you're looking to grow creatively, technically, or just in confidence, I've put together some free DJ lessons from my courses. And there's no catch. All you need to do is hit the link in the description and I will send them to your email. So that's been my DJ journey so far. From falling in love with mixing UK garage vinyl in my bedroom in the late 90s, to winning DMC competitions, touring the world as a DJ, working with brands like Serato and Pioneer, providing scratching for 2 big budget video games, and providing scratching for 2 Hollywood movies. It's been crazy, but what I've realized is this. Every step, every setback, and every left turn that I didn't think I'd make taught me something important that helped me get here today. And now I get to use all of that experience to help DJs like you grow. And that's honestly the most rewarding part of my career so far. So if you're a DJ who's passionate, maybe feeling a bit stuck, or you just want to get better creatively, I put together some completely free DJ lessons to help you grow. They're packed with the kind of stuff that I wish I had when I started out. And you can grab them below, no catch, just pure value if you want it. Thanks for watching, and if this helped you in any way, drop a comment or just let me know which part of the journey resonated with you most. Now, if you've enjoyed this video and you want to check out something else from me on my channel, then I recommend this video right here.